One of the most fascinating light phenomena is color. Without light, there is no color. Objects don't disappear in the dark, but color does. It is this property of light that Carlos Cruz Diez has been relentlessly investigating since the 1950s. He has developed his artistic discourse around 8 lines of research. Physique-chromy is one of them. In 1959, as he was designing a program for the New York Philharmonic Orchestra, Cruz Diez observed the red color from one page reflecting onto the facing white surface. The phenomena fascinated him, so he started to experiment with cardboard strips that he painted red, green, black, and white to play with reflective color. This is how the first physique-chromies were born. A colored base is composed of what Cruz Diez calls chromatic event modules. They interact with themselves and with their environment to constantly transform. They generate arrays of colors that are not painted on the surface. True light traps, the physique-chromies trigger 3 different behaviors of color: additive color, subtractive color, and reflective color. Color invades the space between the vertical strips placed across the artwork. The function of the strips is to modulate light. A physique-chromie changes depending on the movements of the viewer and the intensity of the ambient light, and by launching color into space to create arrays of colors. To get to this result, Cruz Diez has been steadily experimenting.
In the past, I worked like a composer does. A composer does not get to hear their music as they create. Maybe they hear it if someone is inclined to put on a concert. But a composer creates everything in their head. And so I was seeing all those harmonies of color. All the ideas for a new artwork were in my head, but I didn't have physical evidence of what was going to happen. Color is a series of occurrences. It is not static and permanent, so every time I finished an artwork, there was an element of surprise, sometimes wonderful surprises, and at other times not so wonderful. I had to experiment a lot and fail many times to get the right size, the right distance between the vertical strips to produce the effect I wanted. So I would spend a month making one artwork, and then I would see it. Because I could only see it once it was done, and if it wasn't a success, I had to destroy it. Nowadays, with computers, I can see more or less, although not completely, but more or less, what the final result is going to be. It helps me to correct the errors and to be more effective in serving my discourse. Because when something appears that is exactly what you wanted to say, you're ecstatic, you're amazed. And this is one of the fundamental functions of art, to amaze. And one of the purposes of the physique-chromy, and all the other research I did on color, is to create amazement with a phenomenon that otherwise goes unnoticed, because people don't take color into account. We live in a world so full of color that we don't notice it anymore. So what I do is to put an emphasis on it so that people can enjoy this world of color that appears and disappears before our eyes.
Throughout his career, Cruz Diez has experimented with new materials to adjust the intensity and the contrast of color. Cardboard, plastic or aluminum for the colored strips, rhodoid, PVC, opaque and transparent materials, or mirrors for the vertical strips. The physique-chromies keep on evolving and transforming, just like color does in Cruz Diez's work.